In previous session, we go over the Java program framework. We already see how frameworks are defined and how statements are defined inside the framework. One very important aspect of any Java program is a program needs to get some input from outside. Then once it generates any result, it needs to output the result to somewhere so that the user can see or use. If it just runs by itself and finishes without outputting anything, this program is not going to be useful. The most commonly used output device is what we call a console. Many of the programs that you will write will run in the console window. So here you can see that inside Eclipse, this is the console where you will output the result to this console window. Or in this case, it's a Windows command prompt. This is the Windows console window. The console window that starts a Java application is typically known as a standard output device. It's called standard output because a lot of output by default is directed to it. Similarly, we have a standard input device. It's typically the keyboard where you type in your commands. Java sends information to the standard output device by using a Java class stored in the standard Java library. As you can see, this output functionality is very useful to a lot of different users, either you or me, and it can also be very useful in different programs, different functionalities. Whatever program you use, you are likely to have some kind of output functionality, output requirement. And this is the standard functionality can be put into a library so that everybody can use. You don't need to reinvent the wheel and writing all output code on your own. And this code, this commonly used code is called standard Java library. Java classes in the standard class library, Java library, are accessed using the Java Application Programming Interface, or API. And the standard Java library is commonly referred to as the Java API. In the simple class Java file, we use this line, system out print line. This line uses the system class. This system is actually a class inside the standard Java library. It has methods and objects that perform system level tasks. So inside this Java class, there's an object called out, which has a print line method. This print line method will print out a string. In our particular case, is this sentence. There's also another function, a method called print instead of a print line. They actually perform the task of sending characters to the output device. So the line system out print line is commonly pronounced as system dot out dot print line. Or if you want to pronounce it as a print ln, that's fine. The value inside the parenthesis will be sent to the output device. The print line method places a new line character at the end of whatever is being printed out. So every time you print out a string, it automatically changes to a new line. So if you have two print lines, it will be printed out on separate lines since the first statement sent a new line command to the screen. Let's test this inside Eclipse. So I'm commenting out this original statement. Oops, apparently I didn't copy that. So let me try to copy. So now if I run this, this one will be printed out first, followed by a new line. So the output will go to the next line. And starting from the next line, we will have this second line. I'll click on run. And now I have 2 lines, right? The print statement works very similar to the print line statement. However, it does not put a new line character at the end of the output. So these lines will not have a new line following each string. Instead, all these will be printed together until the last print line, which will provide a new line at the end. So now let me copy this. And we will go back to Eclipse and save. You can see there's a print, there's a print, there's a print line. So this will be printed in one line. This will be printed in the same line because there's no new character, new line character. And this will also be printed on the same line. Right, and you can see there's no space here because print does not add a space either. So all these are put together. B and printed, on and D. Notice the odd spacing. Why do they run together? Because print does not print space. So for all of the previous examples, we have been printing strings of characters. Later, we'll see that much more can be printed. There are some special characters that can be put into the output too. Remember we said we print line automatically add a new line? A new line is a special character that print line will print out. And this will cause the output to go to a new line. You can also explicitly define, insert a new line into your string. For example, here, you can use a print, but then you will add a /n at the end of the line, which will bring a new line. This /n in the string is an escape sequence that represents the new line character. It is not a / plus an n when you print out or when you place it into a string. Instead, it's just one character. This one character is a special character that will cause the output to go to a new line. Escape sequences allow the programmer to print the characters that otherwise would be unprintable. Some other escape sequences, such as /t is a tab key, or /b is a backspace, or /r is a carriage return, or / is backslash. It's the backslash itself, because if you only have one slash and something is following it, Java may get confused, not knowing what you are trying to do. And here, this double slash represents the slash itself. And we have a simple quote and a double quote. Even though the escape sequence are comprised of 2 characters, they are treated by the compiler as a single character, such as this. With these escape sequences, complex text output can be achieved. Let me copy this over to Eclipse, and we will see how it works. You can see that these are top sellers. Then you will have a new line. The new line will begin with a tab, which moves at certain characters, then followed by computer games, then another /n, which is a new character, a new line, then another tab key, a coffee, and aspirin. So if I run it, this is when you have a tab. You can see that this is a tab. I cannot move it, each space. Instead, this tab is one space. But however, there is, if you note, there is a space followed by a tab. Why? Because there is a space here. So that's what, when after new coffee, there's a /n, a new character, followed by a space, then followed by a tab. Now, if, let's say I want to add a slash here, what will happen? Is that going to print out the slash with R? It actually prints out as a /R, right? Because /R itself is an escape sequence. So Java thought this is a special character, it's a sequence itself. In order to have a slash here, I need to have two slash. These two slash will represent one slash for me. Right, now you can see this, one slash is print. And this is exactly what the character I want to print out, only one. How about if I want to print out a double quote? So here, once I have this double quote, Java thought that this part, this double quote matches the beginning double quote. So whatever is inside between these two double quote is a string, and anything follows is a syntax error. So I cannot insert a double quote into the string that is enclosed by double quote, right? Make sense? In order to put a double quote here, I need to have a / double quote, which is the escape sequence for the double quote, which will, when we run, will put a double quote here. These are the things that we mentioned: double quote, single quote, double slash. And with this escape sequence, you can see that complex text output can be achieved.